Hi everyone. Welcome back to Level Up Learning Center. If you are a parent of a student taking the IGCSE or A levels, you might have a lot of questions like how are these exams even marked? What is a grade threshold? Why does my child score 80% but still end up with a B sometimes? These are really common questions, and in this video, Ms. Lakshmi, founder Level Up Learning Center, will walk us through everything in simple, clear language so you can understand how Cambridge assessment works and how to support our child better. Hi Lakshmi ma'am, how are you?
Hi, Yeshri, I'm good. How are you?
I'm too good ma'am.
Yes, so today's video, I think you want to know about grade thresholds.
Yes.
So let's first understand what grade threshold is all about. So unlike the Indian syllabi like CBSE or ICSE, where marks are given as fixed percentages or grades are given as fixed percentages, Cambridge looks at something called as a grade threshold. So they primarily answer two questions. How difficult was the paper for students across the globe? So like I said earlier, IGCSE and A-level happens in more than 160 countries. So across the globe, how have students performed? How difficult or easy was the paper? And therefore, based on that, what should be the benchmark that I should set? So for example, if let's say a student did their IGCSE chemistry paper and it was a very easy paper, everyone found it very easy across the globe, like I'm saying.
Okay.
So then grade threshold will be very high. Even if you get 85%, you would probably only end up with a B because many students are getting 90 and above.
Okay.
Or if it was a very tough, let's say A-level economics paper, even a 60% could give us an A+. So the idea is to not have fixed percentages and be fair in how children are given grades. So grade threshold or grade boundary will keep varying according to global benchmarks.
Okay. Ma'am, can you explain us how are the papers actually marked?
Yes. So if you look at each subject, be it IGCSE, AS or A-level, every subject has different paper components. So for example, if you take IGCSE business, which I'm most familiar with, there are two components that children write in each of IGCSE, AS and A-levels. So for example, there might be a short answer paper and a long answer paper. So the short answer paper will get corrected by the examiner. We are primarily looking at has the child used specific keywords? Have they defined the term properly? If they are supposed to identify two things, have they identified them? So the marking scheme is sent to these examiners in advance. They are asked to correct sample papers. They are checked and verified to see if they are following the marking process correctly before they mark the actual paper.
Okay.
Whereas if you look at the long answer or the long structured papers, they look primarily for keywords like evaluation, discussion, comparison. So they want children to critically think, analyze, discuss various viewpoints and give a good, let's say, conclusion that is well justified. So these are things that they look at a long paper. There are also subjects which have the multiple choice questions, which is straightforward. So the answers will only be one and it is automated. Only for these structured papers like the short answer and the long answer papers, Cambridge examiners are sent marking schemes well in advance. They are asked to correct sample papers, get approved before they actually correct the papers.
Okay. So, ma'am, does it mean that examiners correct the papers and then grade thresholds are applied?
No. So what happens is there are examiners and chief examiners. So all examiners will have a chief examiner who will go through their papers, check if the correction is accurate. It ensures fairness for all students so that it's neither too lenient nor too strict. And then grade thresholds are applied. So for example, if they decide that A is between 70 to 100 this year, B is between 60 to 69. If your child has gotten 68 in a paper, they'll still end up with a B and not an A, whereas last year 68 would have been an A. So it doesn't have to be uniform all years as the boundary keeps changing each year.
Okay. Okay. Say if a subject has multiple papers, how do they affect the final grade?
So in IGCSE and A levels, every subject has multiple papers. It is a default. So every component, which is a specific paper, has something called weightage attached to it. If you go and look at the syllabus, they have specifically given what is the weightage given to each paper in each subject. So they take the marks that the child has scored in each of the individual papers multiplied by the weighting factor to get something called as the weighted average mark.
Okay.
So based on that only the final grade threshold is given to them.
Okay. Then do different subjects have different grading patterns or leniencies?
Yes. So subjects like math or physics have a very structured marking scheme. So you can't be lenient in how you mark the paper there. Whereas a paper like English literature, or let's say for example business, where the child's justification, the child's analysis plays a major role, they have more subjective marking schemes. And therefore certain subjects have or do give examiners leniency in how they correct.
Okay. What is the role of coursework or practicals in the final grade, ma'am?
So practicals becomes a separate component, like how there is a structured paper, there's an MCQ paper. Similarly, certain subjects like let's say global perspectives, which we saw in our last video, or art and design, they all have project work basically. That's called coursework. So they form a separate component as well. In fact, in some subjects, 30 to 40% of the total weightage is given to that coursework. And therefore, students have to pay a lot of attention while, creating the coursework, submitting it, making sure that it is up to standard and all that.
Okay. Can students find out what the grade thresholds were after the results?
Yes. So like how question papers and marking schemes are available, grade thresholds are also available on the Cambridge website itself. So while releasing the marks and the mark sheets, Cambridge will also release grade thresholds simultaneously.
Okay.
So they can go check, verify, do all.
How can students improve if they
didn't?
Okay. How can students improve if they didn't get the grade they wanted?
Cambridge gives the option to get your papers revalued. Of course, if there is a multiple choice question paper as a component, that can't be revalued, but structured papers can be revalued. Students are given the choice to ask for their marking or ask for their answer script to see where they have gone wrong. So these are some possibilities. Again, there is also the possibility for children to retake the paper in the next session. So for example, I wrote an exam in February. I didn't get the result that I wanted. February's result come out in May. So the next October, I can retake the paper. But they should keep in mind that any, let's say for example, AS specifically, the validity of that grade is only for 13 months.
Okay.
So whatever they do, they should make sure that they do it within the 13 months step.
Okay. For all this, how does Level Up help?
Yeah. So like I said, most of our teachers are Cambridge examiners and others have experience in the Cambridge syllabus. They have been teaching it for a lot of years. So they are not unaware of how marking schemes work, what paper patterns are. So that is one advantage. Apart from that, we have revision modules that we provide to students 2.5 months before the exam session. So if a child is writing their exam in October, they could join the revision module that starts from August. We also provide mock exams for children, which helps them have time management. We give them immediate feedback, teach them appropriate study skills that can help them improve their grades. Apart from this, we also have regular full-on courses that we offer to students who are homeschooled and students who come after school. So these are all the different support that Level Up offers.
Okay.
Cambridge exams are manageable if you understand the system clearly. At Level Up, we offer this support for both parents and students. So please do call us in case you want to talk more about Cambridge. Thank you.